I'm John Batchelor. Gordon Chang, my colleague and co-host of the Daily and Forbes.com, is here with me. Gordon, on Tuesday, the 22nd of February, a day that will live in infamy, Muammar Gaddafi, the 42-year dictator of Libya, went on television, and we all saw it, and I've spoken with people who listened to the speech in Arabic. We saw the English translation. And at one point in the speech, Gaddafi made a reference to the students in the square worshiping Coca-Cola, and then they sent the tanks. Clearly a reference to Tiananmen Square. Linking his madness, his brutality towards his people with what happened in 1989, June 4th, 1989, in Tiananmen. A blow to the Chinese cadres, a blow to Hu Jintao and these devil's spawn that rule the Chinese Communist Party. What kind of blow? How did they hear that? Did that frighten them that he, a madman, referred to them?
It did, because Hu Jintao has taken the tack that the Communist Party did nothing wrong in Tiananmen. And here you have somebody who looks like a madman saying, we're going to do Tiananmen. So it paints the party in a bad light. Deng Xiaoping, who ordered the crackdown, did so because he wanted to teach the Chinese people that the Communist Party would use deadly force, but his successors want to show the party as benign. And what Gaddafi did was he sort of made the mask fall off the current leaders.
The price of energy right now is climbing. It climbed today considerably. Tomorrow's another day. It's trading in Asia. But in any event, as I understand it, the Chinese bargain, the grand bargain between the cadres, the one-party system, and the well-to-do and the yearning and the migrant workers is that they get GDP growth and the Communist Party gets to pretend that it's in charge. Is that grand bargain at risk now with food inflation and now with these energy spikes?
Certainly, because the price of oil can really undo almost every economy in the world.
Including this one.
Including ours, but our government's legitimacy doesn't depend upon economic prosperity. It's a democracy. China, of course, depends primarily upon the continual delivery of economic prosperity and secondarily nationalism. Price of oil goes to 120, 220, the Communist Party is gone.
Well, it might be gone here too. Our Democratic Republican Party might be gone as well, so let's not get to 220. I'm just talking about $4 a barrel, $4 a gallon gasoline for summertime. Back to the cadres. I'm not, because I'm a literary person, really. I didn't train as a geopolitician, I trained as a writer of fiction. In fiction, you show a gun in the first act, you use it, okay? You have to use it, all right?
That's right, check off.
Right. There's something about that character tonight, calling the Jasmine Revolution absurd. You know, if this is a play, right? You know what happens in the third or the fifth act, depending on whether you're writing Shakespeare or you're writing drama in East End of London, West End of London. By the third act, that absurd crowd is in charge, and and the Chinese Communist Party officials are in jail. So, are they aware of that kind of irony? Do they play that kind of game at the cadre level? I mean, how unironic are they?
Well, you know, right now, in fiction, that gun is going to be used in a later chapter. The problem for the Communist Party of China is that they may not be able to use the gun. You got to remember, Gaddafi, he threatens Tiananmen, as you just pointed out, and he uses deadly force, airships against Libyan protesters, and it's not working. Now, the Communist Party of China is thinking in the back of its mind, it can always stay in power if it uses force. But Gaddafi is showing them that maybe it's not going to work.
So Hu Jintao's having a bad couple of days here.
He certainly is, because the stability of the Chinese state depends upon what the Chinese people are thinking. And the Chinese people are thinking that really the one-party state is not appropriate for China, a modernizing society. So that means these guys are gone when the Chinese people get their first chance to push the Communist Party aside.
Remember, February 1958, Batista's looking pretty good. December of 1958, Batista's on his way to Miami. Gordon Chang of Forbes.com and The Daily. I'm John Batchelor.